What's good, folks? Dark Trade 19 here, and I'm just here to ask you, good folks, like, comment, subscribe, share this video to whoever wants to see this joint, if you don't mind. That's really up to you. Alright. Enjoy the video.
What good, folks, it's Dark319, and yeah, I know robot voice, but it only for the fanfiction I don't want to read, so bear with me. The author name is in the description, so support him and enjoy the story. If you want part 2, comment down. Prologue. Chapter 1. Vegeta growled softly as the dimensional rift that Janemba opened then threw him into it. Cursing the purple creature and hoped secretly that Kakarot found a way to defeat and destroy him. Probably fused with his brat, was his stray thought as finally the rift opened, causing the Prince of Scions to plummet, but instead of crashing into the ground he landed on something soft and furry. Confused, he slowly got to his hands and knees. Staring down, he saw a large hill of red fur, and some 40 yards away he spotted arguably the second largest animal head he had ever known, aside from his own in his Uzaru form. What is going on? He didn't have to wonder long as a huge roar of rage sounded around him. I will not be resealed. This caused the Scion Prince to ponder what the heck that meant before something odd started to occur. He saw the large creature's head lose all kinds of cohesion and start spiraling downward. Before he could even begin to understand what was going on, he felt himself getting pulled down into the same spiral as well. The last thing he saw before blacking out was him spiraling toward the stomach of an infant and seeing the infant's parents bleeding profusely from a massive hole in their stomachs. What happened? What have I fallen into? Bah, damn you, Kakarot, this is something that could only involve you in some way. 30. It took Vegeta a few minutes to realize he was in a dark space, and his only company was the massive creature that he had been dragged in with. He also noted that all his injuries from his fight with Janemba had been healed and felt the Zenkai boost he got from those injuries healing. Looking up at his roommate, he gauged the creature's appearance was that of a giant fox. Great, I'm stuck in wherever this place is with an overgrown furball with a birth defect, honestly 9 tails. Who are you besides making for a delicious light snack? The QB growled, lunging his paw forward only for the Scion to stop it with a single finger. Vegeta gauged the huge monster's power level. Bah, you bore me, creature, your power level isn't any higher than that pathetic older brother of Kakarot, Raditz. Really only 1,500. I am the strongest Bijou in the world. The only one to surpass me was the Sage of the Six Paths, the fox explained, only for the Scion Prince to laugh. If you're the strongest of this world, then this planet is utterly pathetic. The prince looked around and could sense both his and the fox's energy draining. I feel a pull on my energy. We were sealed by the Shinigami. The Gaki's parents sacrificed themselves to prevent me from running amok, the fox growled. If that fucking Uchiha hadn't been there, I could have ran for it, but no, his infernal Sharingan and his infernal Genjutsu. The Scion Prince crossed his arms over his chest, looking up at the fox. We appear to have plenty of time, so explain to me about this world. Though reluctant, the fox explained to the Scion about the ins and outs of the shinobi world, the 5 great shinobi nations, his hatred of the humans, his fellow Bijou, the Sage of the Six Paths, the Uchiha, the Senju, and the Uzumaki clans, as well as stating all 3 descended from the sage. When he was finished, the Scion Prince pursed his lips and thought, I see, interesting. This Madara Uchiha's power level would probably be on par with that of Zarbon's base form, and if you combined with the Gaki we are sealed in, you could reach the power level of Zarbon's transformed state. Ha! The lot of you are weak. I bet I could kill this Sage of the Six Paths without even using 1% of my power, Vegeta thinking, looking up at the seal, then over at the huge fox, then smirked. And I think I know a way to free myself from this stupid seal and give the Gaki a chance to get revenge on this Uchiha who killed his parents. And what way would that be? Foolish little Ningen, the fox growled, though he was worried this little being had stopped his attack with a mere finger and called the father of Shinobi a weakling. But it was the strange gleam in the Scion's eye that put the fox on guard. Vegeta smirked, slowly lifting into the air until he came level with the fox's face. So this seal will be able to draw this chakra from your body over time. I wonder what would happen to your chakra if I destroyed your body. Well, only one way to find out. Vegeta powered up and brought his arms out, spread eagle. Final. The Scion brought his hands together and a massive ball of energy appeared. Before the fox react, the energy lanced out toward it. Flash. The fox barely registered the pain before it vanished in a massive explosion. Once the smoke cleared, all that was left a large energy outline of the fox before the energy was pulled toward the pipes lining the walls and disappeared. Just as I figured, Vegeta said softly, looking around, and grumbled in annoyance. Great, now I have to wait until the Gaki gets pulled in before I can bestow my powers to him. Maybe I should have waited until then to kill the furball. Bah, I didn't need the headache. 30. What do you mean I can't take him? Hiruzen cringed looking at the dark-haired and dark-eyed woman resembling most of her clan. He is my godson. I'm sorry, the civilian council already pushed the motion through, no one is allowed to adopt him. Mikoto, I'm sorry, the old Hokage stated sadly. Mikoto's eyes were filled with rage and sadness. Who told them? What asshole told them about the seal? I suspect Danzo or your husband. I have no concrete evidence, so I'm leaning more towards Danzo, Sarutobi explained. Doubly so since he's already petitioning to have Naruto placed in his root program. Absolutely not, that would weaken or destroy everything Minato and Kushina died for. Mikoto's own knowledge of seals hailing from her friendship with Kushina and her training from Jiraiya as a part of his Junon squad. I agree, Sarutobi sighed heavily. Suddenly both of them felt a massive surge of chakra. What was that? He whispered when a bright flash appeared from the bassinet that was holding Naruto. Both Mikoto and Sarutobi ran over and looked down to see Naruto glowing chakra pulsing all around him for a second before slowly dying down. When it was done they saw Naruto's hair change from blonde to a reddish-orange. Outside of that not much changed. The seal also changed slightly. Sarutobi turned to the Anbu in the room. Get me Jiraiya, today. 30. Jiraiya stared intently at the seal a few minutes before standing at his full height and scratching his head in abject confusion. According to the seal, the fox's chakra has fully been absorbed, but something is still sealed inside though. For the life of me I don't know what. Damn, this is confusing. The fox is dead? Mikoto asked looking hopeful. Yes, but for the life of me I don't know how. It would take unfathomable power to accomplish it. Jiraiya crossed his arms shuddering. Sensei, whatever killed the fox is still inside the seal. That's why we still have a seal, and whatever it is by far thousands of times stronger than any bijou. Your recommendation? Sarutobi asked. The toad sage glanced at Mikoto, no doubt hoping to get to finally take her godson and raise him. However, Jiraiya was worried about this thing that killed the fox could be possibly an even bigger threat. With a heavy heart and sigh, change nothing. What? Mikoto shouted. No, I refuse to let you both do this. I promised Kushina to look after him if something happened to her, the exact same promise you made to Minato, Jiraiya-sensei. Do you seriously believe I want to do this, Mikoto? Jiraiya shouted back. Do you seriously think I want him thrown to the wolves? There are two factors we have to take into account, Minato's enemies and the fact we can't trust your husband. Mikoto winced looking down. You seriously believe Fugaku would corrupt Naruto in some way? That or try to kill him, and not for being a Jinchuriki. He despised Minato and Kushina, wasn't even secretive about it. I know you have your heart set on it, Mikoto, and I would gladly do the same, but we draw too many lines straight to Naruto. While Aniki has no real ill will toward the Konoha, many of his shinobi do, and they'll want to destroy what's left of his legacy. I want to protect both, so as much as it pains me I have to let Naruto go. At least until the Chunin exams, after that I'll make him my apprentice. Mikoto slumped down, tears falling from her eyes, glancing at the bassinet holding her godson. Every maternal instinct in her was screaming to grab the boy and run, but it was clashing with the fact she had two sons already. Sobbing in guilt and remorse for what she was being forced to do, she nodded. If I can't raise him, I at least want to watch over him. If those orphanage matrons so much as lifts one finger on his head except to clean it or pat it for being a good boy, I want full permission to slaughter them if they raise their hands in anger. Sarutobi nodded looking grim. Understood, and I'll make sure they know you'll be overseeing his care from a distance. With a silent nod the Uchiha matriarch left. 30. Mikoto entered the Uchiha home, sullen expression on her face, knowing she would in for more than a few sleepless nights, holding off nightmares of her dead friend, excusing her of giving in to the Hokage and her sensei too easily. So the little demon isn't with you, a male voice stated, and before he could utter another word more he felt a kunai blade against his throat. Know this, Fugaku, I never agreed to our marriage. I don't or never have loved you. In fact, I hate you so much sometimes I cannot see straight. I had hoped to bring one sliver of love into this compound, but I was denied. The only things that have come from this marriage were Sasuke and Itachi, even then it was forced. I will not let you touch me again. My skin was raw enough from the scrubbing I had to endure afterward, the woman stated coldly. Fugaku's eyes narrowed. You are mine. Never. If Itachi and Sasuke hadn't been born I would have annulled the marriage claiming you were sterile. But no, the 2 times I was forced into your bed by the elders just so they could have their heir and I get pregnant. Mikoto's Sharingan activated. If I find out that Danzo was involved in either of those occasions I will gut you personally. If that is ever the case I'll make sure you die right next to me. Mikoto, this I promise you, Fugaku stated coldly. Mikoto's Sharingan spun wildly, glaring at her husband. From this moment on, Fugaku, I'm moving into the house on the far edge of the compound. I love my sons more than anything, but I hate you and will be removing myself from your clutches. There will be a blood clone to keep up appearances for the clan, but as far as I'm concerned, we are no longer married. Fugaku watched her leave the room growling low in his throat. Neither he nor his wife saw the figure in the shadow watching the conversation. Kasan hates Towson? 30 Uchiha Massacre 30. Mikoto sighed heavily. It had been a long week. The mission she went on had been easy enough. Head to the land of Iron Guard, the Fire Daimyo's wife, while she and the wives had a mini-summit discussing the trade agreements and other things their husbands overlooked. Escorting the woman back had as uneventful as the trip there. She entered the tower shortly before closing for the day, handing in her mission scroll. It was on the way back when she felt the distinct pressure of killing intent coming from the Uchiha compound. Then she saw the ill omen of the blood-red moon. Blood is being spilled. She rushed toward the compound. The moment she entered, she spotted a couple of the advanced guards sprawled on the ground, dead from various sword wounds, very distinctive sword wounds, those wounds, Itachi style. She made it to roof to hear an ear-splitting male scream. Sasuke. Running, pushing her body to breakneck speed, she found Sasuke slumped on the ground with his brother standing above him stoically. Itachi? The woman stated, holding two kunai loosely in her hands. Kasan, you were right to hate father. He would have destroyed the village in his greed, Itachi stated solemnly. So you killed him and everyone else, even those not in on his plans? Why? Mikoto asked, feeling her heart break slightly. No, I didn't kill everyone, only those involved in a coup d'etat against the village. However, I didn't come alone, and he was the one who slaughtered everyone else. Fugaku though killed your blood clone, forgetting that it wasn't you. Itachi frowned deeply. He truly had slipped into madness. Is that our real curse? Not the Mangekyo Sharingan, but true madness? Yes, I was the exception, or I thought I was, she stated, her eyes transforming into Mangekyo Sharingan. How? Itachi asked. Kushina's death at the hands of the Kyuubi was the instigator. I lost the closest thing to what I had to a sister, and that I was denied my godparenting rights. The grief compounded so much that after my words to your father they changed. It's why I left so fast. Mikoto put away her kunai. Where will you go? Lord Jiraiya offered me a place in his spy organization. I'll take him up on his offer. He's worried about a new organization and their goals, Itachi explained. Go Sochi, Jiraiya-sensei wouldn't ask you to help him if it wasn't important, the Uchiha matriarch stated. Kasan, Sasuke believes you to be dead, Itachi stated. And I will be. Mikoto Uchiha died this night. I'll move into the same apartment complex as Naruto-kun and alter my appearance. The woman watched as her eldest son vanished before turning to her youngest, frowning slightly, feeling the blood clone's memories slowly trickle in, and what she saw made the frown only get bigger. You are entirely too much like your father Sasuke, so I hope for your sake you don't end up like him. So yeah, that where I'll end. Thank you for listening and goodbye.